Messing with the leaders of the Seelie Court or Unseelie Court is an absolutely terrible idea, yet for some reason Fae decide they're going to fuck around and find out. You want to guess who found out this time? Well, you don't have to. It's in the title. Welcome back to A Compendium of Monsters. It's Darkling and Darkling Elder Week. Before we continue, tap that subscribe button before you show the court some proper respect. Darklings are challenge level 1/2 because they live a cursed half-life. These small Fae have an armor class of 14, average hit points of 13, a speed of 30 feet, dark vision out to 120 feet, and blindside out to 30 feet. Darkling Elders are challenge level 2 because nothing screams middle management like a false sense of importance. These medium Fae have an armor class of 15, average hit points of 27, a speed of 30 feet, dark vision out to 120 feet, and blindside out to 30 feet. All Darklings speak Elvish and Sylvan. I feel like there was a missed opportunity to introduce a Darkling language here, though I suppose sharing a triple set of languages is thrice redundant. Darklings have a death effect that appears as an ability death flash. When the killing blow is dealt, a Darkling or Darkling Elder emits a non-magical flash of light in a 10-foot radius and proceeds to incinerate itself and all of its possessions save for any that are magical or metal. Any creature within the light that can see must make a Constitution saving throw or be blinded until the end of their next turn. If the Darkling was an Elder, a failed save causes any creatures within 10 feet to take an average of 7 radiant damage in addition to the blindness effect. Talk about a walking flashbang. Unlike Darkling Elders, Darklings have the light sensitivity ability. More detriment than ability, any Darkling in bright light from any source finds itself at a disadvantage on attack rolls and perception checks related to sight. The light! It burns! Darklings have a single dagger attack that deals an average of 5 piercing damage. However, if the Darkling has advantage on the attack roll, it gets a nice bonus of approximately 7 piercing damage because gimme your kidneys! If your DM allows variant flanking rules, be very careful with a group of Darklings. Their damage will suddenly multiply and might result in a TPK. Bonk! Oops. Darkling Elders have a basic multi-attack because of course they do. Management has to flex on the peons after all. Darkling Elders hit twice with their short sword and deal an average of 6 damage per hit. If a Darkling Elder has advantage on its attack, it deals an additional roughly 10 piercing damage. Don't worry too much about this damage. The likelihood you'll get set upon by a council of Darkling Elders is... okay, it's technically a non-zero chance, but the probability of such an event is really, really low. Ancient legends tell of a shockingly nameless Fae whose name was stricken from history that f***ed up so bad that he decided to betray the one and only Titania, queen of the Seelie Court. Titania is a whimsical entity, but this particular Fae pissed her off so much that she cursed his whole family and included their future descendants in the curse. Stories dubbed the initial Dub Katha, which should be Fae for ya fucking moron, but instead translates to Dark Crow. I wish I was called something so ominously cool when I f***ed up working in retail instead of basic things like head and you don't work a real job. So anyways, that f***ing moron's descendants are known by the name Dubsith because, let's be honest, they're not that important. The name isn't even capitalized. Scandalous! The cursed descendants of Eat Crow House have a unique intolerance for light. You'll note I didn't specify sunlight because that would be easy. Any Darkling exposed to any type of light begins to age rapidly until it explodes and releases all the light contained within. So what happens if a Darkling explodes within 10 feet of another Darkling? Do those Darklings also explode as some kind of really messed up chain reaction? Boom, 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 boom! Congratulations, you're responsible for genocide by chain reaction. Ha 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 ha! Despite the crippling nature of their curse, Darklings are obsessed with beautiful art. They are so driven to witness the beauty of life that a Darkling might light a small candle to see the colors of a painting or a precious jewel. Bolder Darklings, presumably near the end of their lives, might even take a glimpse of the sunset. Hopefully, they get to see a sunset framed by pink clouds instead of a sunset in a cloudless sky. While both are beautiful, I much prefer the presence of clouds. Darklings and Darkling Elders are allegedly the kind of elves that live below existing cities and ply their trade as either a thief or as an assassin. I would have guessed Darklings would live in the Underdark because, you know, it's dark? The problem of being a thief or an assassin under a city is that even if you operate at night, there's still light. Whether it's torchlight, candlelight, or lantern light, most cities have some way to light their streets. Or if you'd like to cast all of that aside, what about the fucking moon. Since the Mayan calendar ran out, but we all survived that apocalypse, we'll need to use a Gregorian calendar and a lunar solar cycle similar to ours. There are 12 new moons each year. 12 days out of the year where Darklings might be able to venture above ground without the immediate risk of rapidly aging and self-immolating. Even if clouds block a moon, the light filters through. I just don't see a Darkling taking a job that requires them to travel to the surface. Well, unless it was a heist that involved art or gems. While I have a general disdain for bringing real-world physics and concepts into Dungeons & Dragons, I'm curious about photons and how they would affect a Darkling's age while on the surface. For the unfamiliar, photons are infinitesimal figments of light composed of both particles and waves that help illuminate our world. The most common example of photons in our lives are household lights, lamps, nightlights, and phone or television screens. While activated, these devices emit a ridiculously large number of photons that proceed to bounce around the room like Crash Bandicoot on methamphetamines. Some photons are immediately absorbed by the surrounding environment, while others bounce around and lose energy with each progressive bounce, but it's because of a photon's impact that we are able to see. So which impact ages a Darkling more quickly? Photons that are absorbed by the Darkling's skin, or those that bounce off? Honestly, based off how quickly photons travel, I don't think it matters in the slightest. While learning about photons is interesting, it echoes my earlier point. Darklings in cities, bad. Darklings in rural areas, good. The interesting thing about Darkling Elders is they are created from a magical ritual, though the ritual itself is inherently flawed. Darkling Elders mark a Darkling with magical tattoos and use those tattoos to drive light from the Darkling's body. If the ritual succeeds, the Darkling's form twists and distorts until it grows into a large, elf-like Darkling Elder. If the ritual fails, the Darkling dies and explodes in a violent flash of light. Have you survived for hundreds of years as a Darkling? Well, if the ritual fails, then your painstaking care was all for nothing. The fascinating yet concerning thing about this ritual is the implication that only Darkling Elders can perform it. In an indulgent hypothetical, what happens if all Darkling Elders are killed or otherwise die? Darklings can never become Elders? It seems like a silly flaw. Or what happens to Darklings that are cast out of their tribe or whatever the gathering is called? Do they just have to find a randomly loose Darkling Elder and become compliant with the leadership of a presumably deserved outcast? The Forgotten Realms wiki rewrites the passage in such a way that suggests Darklings who seek to become Darkling Elders merely require knowledge of the tattoos. You know what this means? DMs! It's up to your discretion. Anyways, what do you think of Darklings and Darkling Elders? Have they ever appeared in your campaign setting? Let me know in the comments below. A special thank you to my incredible patrons. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share my video on your Twitter, Facebook, or other social media, and make the leap to become one of my patrons on Patreon. I'll see you next time.